Joss as a WSB agent? Seriously? What a brilliant plot choice. I guess the writers completely forgot what General Hospital is actually supposed to be about. Brilliant, just brilliant. And honestly, why does Trina have to be shoved into every episode? I'm at the point where I'm just fast-forwarding through all her scenes. It's getting old. Now Drew, he lied to both the police commissioner and an ADA. I'm sure that's totally not a crime, right? I mean, surely there aren't any cameras around to catch footage of Jason coming and going. Everyone has them, especially a congressman, right? Willow's a total idiot, though, and I'm glad Carly called her out for it. As for Joss, let's be real. She's not exactly the brightest bulb in the box. But hey, neither is Anna, so I guess Joss fits right in. I never knew you could get arrested for someone just missing. No DNA, no blood, and no proof of anything. Just because Cyrus isn't around doesn't mean he's off on vacation. It's a ridiculous storyline, and I honestly have no idea how General Hospital keeps winning awards with this nonsense. I do have to give them credit for keeping Luke's spirit alive through Lucky, though. Ad/Luke may be gone, but it feels like they'll never truly leave. Brennan? Yeah, I'm not buying his nice guy act. He's playing the long game, and I think he's looking to take Sunny down for himself. Joss won't be able to keep that secret for long, though. She's going to have to spill the beans to Jason and Sunny sooner or later. And Drew? Yeah, lying about Jason not being at his place when Cyrus got shot, that's going to come back and bite him. As for Lucy, poor thing. She's about to become Sidwell's next victim, and it's not going to be pretty. Lulu? Can she just give up the search for Charlotte and Valentin already? He doesn't want to be found, and she has a kid right in front of her who loves and misses her. Focus on that kid, Lulu. And seriously, Lulu needs to quit chasing after a storyline that's clearly going nowhere. Valentin and Charlotte? Not happening. Rico's the one she should focus on. I was hoping she'd get something with Cody, but nope, they've just got her popping up at the Q Mansion to chat with Tracy. Does she even know he works there? Because that's not a storyline. It's a wasted opportunity. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Lois really needs to tell everyone that Gio is her son. And Tracy's little comment about him being a good quartermain. Oh, they're going to lose it. Imagine the shock when they find out how Lois kept this secret. How did they hide her pregnancy from the family? They didn't even notice she was pregnant? How is it possible they didn't find out somehow? How did she pay for all the medical bills and, have a whole baby without anyone noticing? Did Ned really not notice his child support payments staying the same despite this sudden little human popping up out of nowhere? There's no way Port Charles is that disconnected. Maybe Lois was in Bensonhurst, but come on, they were still sending her money. How did she pull off having a baby without a single financial paper trail? Something smells fishy. And then there's the whole Drew and his nephew's wife thing. Really? No one in Port Charles knows about that? Not even a single gossip-hungry reporter caught wind of Drew getting cozy with his sister-in-law. In a town where everyone knows everyone's business, I'm calling total nonsense. This should have been splashed all over the news already. As for Lulu, she should take a breath and just enjoy the family moment for once. Elizabeth and Lucky, perfection. Elizabeth hearing that Lucky's awake, rushing to him, cradling his face in her hands, and thanking him for saving her from Cyrus. She'd save him 100 times if she had to. That's the kind of love that makes your heart swell. And then Laura, arriving and hearing Lucky tell her that, despite being grown, he feels better when she's around. Cue the tears. It's the kind of moment you'd expect on a Hallmark card, but I'll take it. Oh, and Sunny, of course. Always shows up at the perfect moment, with the perfect words. Lucky feeling his dad's presence and hearing his voice. It wasn't your time yet, cowboy. Classic Sunny, and the cherry on top, Sunny saving Elizabeth. Like father, like son. But back to the drama. Lulu's questions are probably the reason Martin ran off. And seriously, can someone stop her from snooping into Lois and Martin's meetings about Gio? We don't need to watch Lois looking shocked every day. Just spill it already. And Lucy, seriously, how gullible can you be? You're talking to the devil himself, Jen Sidwell, the man who kidnapped Lucky in Africa, who's responsible for Sasha's kidnapping, and who blew up Sunny's penthouse. Wake up, Lucy. Open your eyes. As for Lulu, enough already. Stop with the bring Charlotte home nonsense. We get it. It's getting old. So annoying. Remember when Martin Gray first showed up at General Hospital with that thick Southern accent? Then he disappeared for a while after the whole breakup with Lucy. And when he came back, poof, no accent. Just like that, it's gone. Am I the only one who noticed this? And let's not forget Jack Brennan. Didn't he have an Australian accent at some point? Now it's just vanished. What? Do they think we're all just too dumb to notice these things? The writers really need to step it up. And as for Lulu Spencer, oh, she's in for quite the shock when she finally wakes up from her 4-year coma, because that's just the most believable thing ever. Apparently, her daughter Charlotte Cassadine is off hiding somewhere with her father Valentin. But guess what, Lulu? You've been asleep for 4 years, so here's a little truth bomb for you. Anna Devane is the one who accidentally shot Charlotte, but not because she's a horrible person. Oh no. Charlotte convinced her that Anna was some kind of threat to her dad, Valentin. So Charlotte staged this whole stalker act, snuck into Anna's apartment, and when Anna pulled a gun, well, she shot her. But don't worry, Charlotte survived, though she's now apparently dealing with some nightmares. Such a tragedy. Fast forward to the future. Charlotte and Valentin, they've totally endangered everyone around them. Now they're on the run because, plot twist, they're in danger of being captured. If they go back to Port Charles, it's game over. But hey, no worries, because Lulu might lose her daughter and be left with a permanent hole in her family. But sure, Lulu, keep chasing that reunion dream. What could go wrong? Oh, and Martin Gray, he's got nothing to do with this mess. No, the real culprit here is Anna Devane, with Jack Brennan using the WSB to cover up all the juicy details. Classic. And Lulu, she's the perfect example of someone who's absolutely convinced that everything they think is right, even though she's proven time and time again that she's, well, wrong. Sounds familiar, right? We see way too much of that these days. Can someone please mention Scotty and show some respect to Ken Schreiner already? He's been around forever, and this lack of acknowledgement is just absurd. So it's going to be Lulu who uncovers the truth about Brooklyn and Dante having a baby. Because, of course, Tracy said Martin was lying about Charlotte, so Lulu is going to dive into Martin's paperwork, determined to find the notepad where he scribbled the truth. Classic Lulu move. As for Brennan, yeah, I don't trust him. I bet he's playing the nice guy act to Carly, but it's all just to set up Sunny for a fall. That guy's a snake in the grass, no question about it. Joss might be struggling to keep a secret, but honestly, I don't see her holding out much longer. She'll need to spill the beans to Jason and Sunny soon enough. They'll find out one way or another. And can we just take a moment to appreciate the legendary Jane Elliott and Michael Knight sharing the screen? Jane Elliott has been magic since my childhood watching her throw down with Ross Marler on Guiding Light. And Michael Knight? Tad Martin, people, chef's kiss. Now, writers, let's talk about the whole Monica/Edward property thing. Alan built the houses for Monica, not Edward, so what's with the confusion? If Monica is still on the canvas upstairs, shouldn't she be the one making decisions about her own home and estate? But hey, I love Tracy and her methods, so I'll let it slide, Monica's house or not. I could listen to Tracy and Martin argue all day. Those two are gold. Meanwhile, Laura, Jordan, and Curtis know Sunny's not going to take any of this lying down. He's got something up his sleeve, no doubt. And speaking of Martin, why hasn't he told her the truth yet? He's already broken attorney-client privilege with Nina. Why is he still practicing law? After spilling his guts to her, he should have lost his license. I don't get how she trusts him as a lawyer. And the nerve of him to pull the attorney-client privilege card on Lulu? Ridiculous. I was hoping Martin would get paired with Diane. But hey, I guess we're stuck with Tracy and him for now. Not that it's all bad. Those two have such great chemistry, and let's not forget, they both look so ridiculously fabulous with their white/silver hair. Honestly, it's a whole vibe. But seriously, can we talk about bringing one of the Gannon brothers from Ala TL for Diane? I mean, Dr. Isaiah Gannon, Landview? You can't just drop those bombs without at least hinting we'll see Hank or RJ Gannon show up as relatives. Right? And then, when the proverbial dirt hits the fan, oh Drew, it's going to be game over. You've screwed over so many people, and it's all coming back for you. Fighting with Tracy about her family? Yeah, that's not going to end well for you, buddy, you'll see. But honestly, Tracy should just leave Drew alone. He's a Quartermain, and trust me, I can't stand him or Willow and her constant whining. Don't you dare mess with Scout. Look, I do like Tracy, but sometimes she's just a rich, old lady who really needs to get a life and stay out of everyone's business. You know what they say, idle hands are the devil's playground. Just saying, have a blessed day. And then these writers, can they get any more ridiculous? They're honestly the worst. They're making everyone on this show look like complete idiots. And if they keep this up, they'll lose viewers to that new soap they're all clearly pretending doesn't exist. And don't even get me started on the property line mess. All these years, and suddenly the lines are overextended? Oh sure, and moving a crypt? No biggie. I'm sure that totally doesn't need a court order. I mean, why not just mess with the dead for fun, right? If Drew disturbs that crypt, he's going to look so bad in the public eye. But hey, who cares about logic when you can just mess up a plot, right? Jason and the new ADA. Sparks? Not so much. Okay, maybe it's just me, but the new ADA seriously gives off a I can't stand you Jason vibe. But hey, she's also got that I'm totally hot, but totally pissed off energy, which, let's be real, is basically the trademark of every female DA in the world, except Molly. And we all know the drill, bad boys? Yeah, they're pretty much irresistible to these women. I get that in real life, she's a Sidwell woman or whatever, but on screen, she's giving major, I'm a strong, no-nonsense character who Jason could totally save vibes. She's got black hair, a steely attitude, and could definitely end up in some situation where Jason's the knight in shining leather jacket who has to rescue her. Better yet, imagine them being trapped together. Classic. Honestly, I'm more into this dynamic than the stale mess with old Anna and the fake romance with Sasha. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a whole bunch of existing characters on the canvas who could give Jason a better shot at a real romance than either Anna or Sasha ever did. Like Jordan, Eva, Nana, Lois, and a bunch more. They're all around his age, and guess what? They actually need stories. I mean, do we really need another random district attorney thrown in the mix? If she's the best they've got, fine, I'll roll with it. But honestly, there's more potential in the characters we already know. Spinelli. Surely he must have a way to help, right? I mean, can't he dig up some traffic cam footage of Jason driving to or from Drew's place to give him a solid alibi and completely ruin the congressman's credibility in one fell swoop? And really, no way Drew doesn't have security cameras around the house. Come on, the guy's not living in the Stone Age. Maxie could totally help him access that footage before it mysteriously vanishes. But then, Spinelli doesn't exactly work for the police, does he? He's more of the create evidence out of thin air kind of guy, especially when it comes to getting his old buddy Jason off the hook. I mean, he could try finding some witnesses, but good luck with that. Maybe Jack can get his hands on some satellite footage showing Jason going to Drew's, if he had any interest in actually helping. But Jason isn't even in that much trouble yet, is he? Diane will probably manage to get this thrown out, or at least get the charges dropped. There's really not enough to convict him, and they can't try him twice on the same thing. So it's a classic stalemate. Speaking of Spinelli, why don't we see more of him? I'd much rather watch Spinelli doing, well, anything than seeing Maxie redecorating Drew's house. Does anyone even know what Spinelli does anymore? Is he still working as a PI, or is he just freelancing at this point? Or maybe he's a stay-at-home dad now? I've only just started watching again last year, and I still can't figure it out. Honestly, it's like Bradford Anderson is on some weird schedule, like Lisa Locicero or Wally Kurth, disappear for a while, pop back in for a random storyline. I did that a lot of actors have contracts guaranteeing a certain number of episodes, and some cast members are just recurring, but it's a bit much at this point. And don't even get me started on the absurdity of it all. The idea that they'd be so sure someone was murdered with literally no evidence, and that person's been missing for less than 24 hours. Come on, they'd have every reason to run. But no, let's just charge someone with absolutely nothing to go on. Makes perfect sense, right? Then there's Anna, who's been asking a million questions that have obvious answers, and yet somehow she still has no clue what's going on. Who else but Jason could clean up a crime scene that thoroughly? Oh, right, Jack and the WSB, who we've all known have been up to something this entire time. And how could Joss be so sure Jason's innocent? Duh, because she's obviously involved. She's been sticking her nose into everything from the start. But sure, let's pretend that's not obvious. And the kicker? They've somehow managed to pinpoint the exact time Cyrus was killed, with no body, no proof he's even dead. And yet Jason's brief chat with Drew is somehow a rock-solid alibi. Logic, where are you? Finally, Willow, bless her heart, actually believes Jason would lie about being with Drew? If Jason were going to fake an alibi, you really think he'd pick someone who hates him and would never lie for him? Please. There are a million people who would have jumped at the chance to lie and say they were with him. The whole thing is just ridiculous. The classic who shot who moment from General Hospital in the 80s that has everyone scratching their heads. So here's the deal. It wasn't Bobby's boyfriend, Brock, getting shot in the elevator, though that's a solid guess considering how often people found themselves in life or death situations on GH. No, it was actually Roy DeLuca, Luke's best buddy at the time, who met an unfortunate fate. At least, that's what everyone thought. Picture this. It's the night of Tracy's boyfriend Mitch's big celebration after being elected to Congress at a fancy hotel. All the usual suspects were there, probably with an over-the-top spread of shrimp cocktails and champagne. Meanwhile, Frank Smith, the mobster mastermind, gives Luke the charming little task of taking Mitch out. But plot twist, Roy, not Luke, takes the shot at Mitch. Unfortunately for Roy, a cop is nearby, and he ends up taking one for the team instead. The poor guy was presumed dead, but surprise, he made a miraculous return around 1999, played by A. Martinez. Because, soap operas and their endless ability to resurrect people from the dead. So yeah, while it's a bit of a confusing mix-up with Luke and Bobby and a hotel, it was Roy who was shot. And he didn't exactly get the peaceful exit one might hope for in an 80s soap. So Cyrus is missing, but no body has been found, and suddenly everyone's acting like they've wrapped up the case. Really? No body, no proof he's actually dead. How many people have come back from the dead? Let's not forget AJ. And let's not even get started on the people who were assumed dead only to pop up later, cough Jason. For all anyone knows, Cyrus is just lounging around somewhere, plotting his next move. We all know he's gone, but nobody in Port Charles seems to get it. I'm honestly baffled by how quickly they've decided he's out of the picture. I mean, I get it. The cabin was scrubbed, but that could have been anyone trying to cover up anything. Maybe Cyrus just had a housekeeper to do his dirty work. Literally. Who knows? Maybe he paid someone to clean up just to make people think he's dead. There are so many other possibilities, but nope. Everyone's just happy to close the book and pretend it's over. Look, when someone confesses to being a serial killer and then poof, disappears, the smart money's on them being on the run, not dead. But apparently, in Port Charles, the obvious conclusion is too much to handle. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.